What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here to talk to you about the movie Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. This came out in 2004. It has Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, and Angelina Jolie is in it briefly. Giovanni Ribisi, is that how you say his name? Phoebe's brother from Friends. He's in it. And this movie is set in 1939. It features Jude Law is an airplane adventure hero. Gwyneth Paltrow is a sassy go-get-em reporter type. Kind of basically your Lois Lane, and they are thrown together in this adventure when these giant robots attack New York City, and there is this evil mad scientist who is hunting down and killing or kidnapping all of these other mad scientists, and then they have to rescue his friend Giovanni Ribisi, and then we get to see all kinds of 1930s goodness along the way. And this movie seems like it is tailor-made for me. These giant robots, they look like they come right out of the Fleischer Superman cartoons. You've got a little bit of King Kong referenced here. All kinds of 1930s aesthetic here. I'm a big fan of The Shadow and The Phantom, all that kind of stuff. And so, in theory, this movie was made for me. So why do I hate it so much? Well, number one, this movie was filmed entirely in front of a blue screen. And I am not, in theory, against CGI. I think I have this reputation of being just a big curmudgeon when it comes to CGI and digital effects. But when it's done right and you don't notice the CGI, I'm all for it. In the TV show WandaVision, a lot of Vision's effects were done with CGI. They didn't have Paul Bettany made up in a practical costume. A lot of that was done with computers, and I was totally okay with that because I didn't notice. It didn't look fake. Everything in this movie looks fake. There's one part where Gwyneth Paltrow is running between the feet of these giant robots, and they keep stepping near her, and she's not in danger. And I was thinking to myself, that's not real. It doesn't look real, and therefore I don't care about what's happening because I know that this character is not in danger. And I can kind of see the benefits of wanting to do something like this, because sometimes making movies is actually dangerous. A person died in the making of The Dark Knight. A person died in the making of Deadpool 2. Someone nearly died in the filming of the 1966 Batman movie. The scene on the submarine, someone nearly drowned. So making movies can be dangerous. So I understand the desire to, let's just film everything in this room and it's going to be safe. No one is going to get hurt, and then we can get it done in a fraction of the time that it would take us if we had to go out to these sets and locations to film this thing. Apparently they filmed this entire movie in 29 days, which is just phenomenal whenever you think about how long it normally would take to film a big blockbuster movie like this. But 2004 is when this movie came out. That is the same year that Spider-Man 2 came out and the first Hellboy movie. And both of those movies had actual tangible things where I felt like the characters were actually in danger, or it seemed real. Hellboy is fighting this monster that keeps getting bigger in the subways in the first Hellboy movie. And I kept thinking, I know that this squid monster is not real, but that looks real, and it looks like something I could actually imagine a real person physically getting entangled with, like Hellboy is in the movie. When Dr. Octopus is throwing bags of money at Spider-Man in the bank, I imagine that that hurts because it looks real. It doesn't look fake. Everything in this movie looks fake. And so, off the bat, this movie has already got a long way to go to try to make me care. And then, as if the entire movie looking artificial wasn't enough, the characters in this movie are so awful. Both Gwyneth Paltrow and Jude Law play the absolute worst characters I have ever seen in a movie. The entire film is them constantly bickering at each other, and I kind of get what they're going for. They want to do that 1930s Midwestern His Girl Friday type relationship here, where both of them, they're kind of snippy with each other, but you can tell they like each other, and as they go along the adventure, they start to like each other a little more. I think that's what they're going for, but the entire movie is just them always arguing with each other, and they're both horrible people. At one point, Gwyneth Paltrow admits that she sabotaged his plane at one point, which could have gotten him killed, and in fact got him stranded in a prison for 10 days in some foreign country. And then also we find out that he was sleeping around with someone else for 3 months while he was dating her. Not as bad as nearly getting her killed, but still pretty bad. At one point, she is giving him directions while they're both in a plane, and then they end up going through some scaffolding, and then someone gets knocked off the scaffolding, and then he he's yelling at her because she gave him wrong directions, and she's like, well, I got us through. And I'm thinking, yeah, and someone died. These people are awful, just absolutely the worst. And 80% of the movie is Giovanni Ribisi was kidnapped by this mysterious woman for some reason. I have no idea why. And then they have to get to this island to rescue him, and then they get there, and he's already freed himself from the danger. And then Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow, they have to go on this rocket ship that is about to launch, and if the rocket ship actually escapes, then planet Earth is doomed somehow. And then Jude Law, he punches Gwyneth Paltrow so that he can go alone, and then she wakes up, and then she saves him, and then there's 10 seconds left before the spaceship is about to launch, and then she punches him. And I get it, I get what you're doing, but wait until the spaceship thing is taken care of. You have less than 10 seconds to get on that thing, and you're getting back at him for punching you. I'm not on board for either of these two punching each other. I don't like either of these scenarios. This whole movie is just awful. I really hated it, and I watched it probably about 10 years ago or so, and I did not like it then. And then much more recently, I got it for $1, and then I thought, you know what? It's been long enough. I need to give it another chance. Maybe I will like it more the second time around. Maybe I was too hard on it. And it turns out I don't think I was hard enough on it. There were things I noticed that I despised about this movie that I didn't notice the last time I watched it. So in theory, a 1930s pulp adventure movie that's in the vein of the old serials back in the day, I could have been the biggest fan in the world of that kind of movie. But this movie just went out of its way to make me hate it. I was reading some trivia about the movie, and apparently the original idea was that it was going to be in black and white. It was going to be some unknown actors so that it could look like a lost serial from the 30s. And it was going to be divided up into chapters, and each chapter would end on a cliffhanger like the old serials. And I thought, that sounds like a much better movie. Why didn't they do that? And I kind of understand, okay, we get in Gwyneth Paltrow and Jude Law, and then it's going to draw in more audiences. Okay, I can kind of understand that. But I definitely wish they did it in black and white and divided it up into chapters. I thought that would have been really cool. Overall, I think this movie could have been fantastic, and it just went out of its way to lose me. I think I already said that. So those are my thoughts on the Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow movie. I hope you guys like this video. I will see you guys in the future with other videos. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day.